And welcome back to another episode of the Bandit Room. My name is Charles. I'm joined here in the studio today by Mr. Caleb.
Hello.
And sitting across the table from me, he's back, Mr. Aggie.
What's up?
Welcome back. And a special guest, Amber Tab.
Hola.
In the room.
For the
bringing the
second, third time. How many times have you been on?
This is just my, I guess second and a half.
Second, yeah.
I was
first
kind
time
of,
you didn't do anything.
Well, I was getting over a cold, and every time I went to talk, it kind of like caught right here.
Oh, so like the way I sound right now.
Stopping these two.
Correct. Correct. I was trying to say Caleb from a little bit of work, but whatevs.
Well, we appreciate you joining us today.
I don't know about that.
Well, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you joining us today.
Well, thank you for your kindness.
I can't speak for everyone.
I'm indifferent.
We're all independent here at the Bandit Room.
Okay, Caleb.
Whether we're excited is to be determined.
Positive for Charles, negative for Aggie.
He's Mr. Middle.
Yeah. Well, of course.
So talking about being the middleman there, seems like Mr. California McCarthy is not getting anywhere with this speakership.
Yeah.
Do you know you already moved a into the speaker's office?
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. He's just having his whole reputation just destroyed on TV.
It's the second time he's trying.
Yeah.
First time he tried, what's the other kid from Pennsylvania? He became the speaker. He was a vice presidential candidate.
Paul Ryan?
Paul Ryan. He took it from
Wisconsin,
McCarthy.
Right?
Oh, Wisconsin. That's right. Yeah.
Same thing.
He took it from him. It's happening to him again. But that Matt Gates guy, Mr. Forehead, he sent a letter to, I guess, some position, whatever they are responsible for offices, that how is he allowed to be in an office where he's not elected for it, and they want to have him take his out of there.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure somebody's waiting outside with the camera to film that.
I was just about to say, this sounds like a drama, not politics, but I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, same thing.
It's fitting. Yeah.
Sounds like Kardashians.
Interesting. It's an interesting year. It's been an interesting year. We're kind of looking back on 2020. We're doing this recording
2020
here.
or 2022?
I mean, it's all the same thing.
What
since
have you
COVID
been
happened.
drinking, Charles? I want some of
I'm
that.
stuck in 2020, okay? Everything's been 2020.
You cannot be stuck in 2020. You are not a father in 2020.
It's true. A lot has happened in 2022, and that's what we're doing. We're recording this the first week of 2023, taking a look back at the year behind. As far as what's been going on here at the office at Span Enterprises, it's been pretty good.
That's right.
Made a lot of big accomplishments.
Fantastic year.
I think each of us have had some personal accomplishments as well.
I don't have any.
You don't?
Oh.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, you did.
You went on your vision quest. You
I got my pilot's license.
You got a license.
I got the license to fly. Until last year, I was only licensed to fly after a few shots of bourbon.
On your simulator
On
in your house.
You're licensed to fly on a computer.
Stimulator. Yes, that's right. I finally took it upon me to really go get it done before the year was up. So I moved to Florida for a couple of months and went to a great flight school in New Smyrna Beach called Epic Flight Academy. They were fantastic. Met some really good friends. It was not easy to get the pilot's license at this age. The flying part is not difficult, but studying and taking tests, and that was not easy.
Yeah.
But I got it done.
You did it over about a year? You were just kind of doing it in stints. Like you'd go for a couple of weeks and you come back.
Then I had some, I had to take some time. They delayed my medical, so that took about 7-month pause. And as soon as I got the medical, I was able to go get it done. Yep.
Gotcha.
And then, went ahead and bought an airplane.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So I'm excited about that. Been flying around a little bit. Obviously, the weather has been so bad here the last couple of months now.
Yeah.
I haven't had a chance to go for a full day trip. But I did go on a trip 2 weeks ago with my buddy Brian. He's been on
friend of the show.
Friend of the show. We went from Rock Hill to Greenville.
Yeah.
Stopped there, and then from there we went to Augusta, Georgia, had lunch there, and then from there we went to Charleston, had coffee there, and then we flew back. That was pretty good.
That's pretty cool. You can really circle the whole all
Yep.
corners of the state there.
That's right.
That's fantastic.
It's been fun. So I'm looking forward to some better weather and doing some long day trips.
Okay. Well, I'm good. What's the range on the plane?
With full tank and 2 people, I can fly for about 4 hours nonstop.
Okay.
But you really don't want to be sitting in
Right.
that one spot for 4 hours. So
Yeah.
as they say, your bladder will give up before the fuel tank will give up. So.
Okay. You can go as long as you're.
Yeah. So typically we'll fly like even if let's say if it's a 4-hour trip,
Mm-hmm.
you probably will break it up into 2 or
Mm-hmm.
1 or 2 breaks. Yep.
Gotcha.
Did you finish your ability to take other people on the passengers on the plane yet?
Yeah. I've taken passengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can take Amber for.
I think she's going.
We'll have a couple gummies and then up in the air we go.
Whoa.
She's gonna go.
Couple gummy bears. That's
She's
it.
gonna go. But I want to take a trip to FFA, which is the first flight aerodrome where the Wright brothers flew out of.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Out
it's,
of-
it's due east. It's
Mhm.
like a 2-hour, 10-minute flight from here.
Nice.
So I'm gonna plan that one.
That's
of
gonna be
these
your
days.
next one.
No, probably not next one
Gotcha.
because I want to fly back to Charleston and come back. Might make that as my regular stop to go have lunch and come back.
Nice. Okay.
So I can get to Charleston about 55 minutes from here.
Pretty good.
But FFA is a full 2.5 hours
Mhm.
flight time.
Gotcha.
It's not. I won't make it as a day trip in the winter because
Right.
by the time I get there and stop and get somewhere to have lunch and come back, it'll be nighttime. I don't mind flying, but I would prefer not to fly in the nighttime.
Right. And you take a lot of flights. One of your biggest ones this year. You finally went back to India.
I came back November 2019, and then COVID happened. Some
That's
of
right.
my friends joked that I was
You were patient one.
zero.
Yeah. You
Zero.
brought it to America secretly. Okay.
And then then I didn't get a chance to go for 3 years. So then I went pretty much exactly 3 years later.
Gotcha.
When last year, that was good. So
How was the experience? Was it about the same as it was before, or is it a little different?
yeah. But from our office wise, I know we've added one more office now. We have 3 offices in India, a little over 300 employees, and I'm going back again next week because we are purchasing some land to build our own offices, like IT park.
Yeah.
So I'm going back again next month. Plus, also my brother turns 50 next month, so I'm going to
All
go
right.
and be celebrate his birthday party.
Awesome.
What do you say, Amber?
I didn't say anything. I said, happy birthday.
Freaking Muppet noises under.
He's
That's
a baby.
exciting.
Yeah, he is.
He's your baby brother. Yeah.
Amber has a crush on my brother.
Gotcha.
If you're watching, this is not true.
I'm sure she loves you very much.
So Charles, you had some major development. last year.
Yeah. We went to the hospital in February of this year. 2022 anyway. And we had a baby.
Awesome.
Little son. So yeah, it's been quite a year for that. It's it's been quite an adjustment, but quite a reward as well. So it's been,
Awesome.
It's been good times.
We haven't had a chance to meet him yet.
Yeah, you met him.
Yes, you have.
Oh, that's
He
right. The
hasn't been on
party.
he hasn't been on the Bandit Room yet.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he
should.
came to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's come out and hang a couple times.
What's the
But-
appropriate age to?
He's
be-
like
for
Holly
your first
Jolly.
podcast. You know?
First podcast. What do you think? Probably 3, right? I mean, you couldn't. I don't
Something
think
like
I
it
don't-
should be
probably
a pretty-
him, maybe a year and a half. He'll be like, oh, yeah, my dad is Charles, and I learned how to talk about the second week I was born.
No, it was a big time because he spent a couple of weeks in the NICU, but fortunately everything worked out so far. So
So when's this? He's coming up to a year now,
February.
right?
Yeah.
Oh,
February.
wow.
Yeah. Almost a year.
Congratulations,
Be
Charles.
celebrating soon.
Congratulations.
Big times. Big times.
How about you, Caleb?
My big news is the company sold Express Truck Tax.
Ah, okay.
We'll transition that to company news.
Yeah, company.
Company news section. Amber got a car this year.
Oh yeah,
I did. I got a Jeep Wrangler.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
a span car. A
Yeah.
span.
Yeah. Span
Yeah.
got Amber a car.
Yes.
Correction.
A big white golf cart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it yes. It drives just like a golf cart.
And you plug it in too.
I do.
Yeah.
Every night.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool.
What else, Amber?
What else? Last year, I don't know. It was a fun year. It started out here at work, pretty busy, and lots of big things happened here at work.
You started a podcast.
We did start a podcast last year. It's called Something's Amuck. So that's been pretty fun, just hanging out and talking about nonsense with Stephanie and Christina. But that was pretty cool. And my kids are in 5th and 6th now, so they're doing a lot of fun projects and things like that at home. Reagan wants to start a YouTube channel.
Oh, to compete with us.
Yes.
To compete with you. To compete with Express Amber.
Direct
What
competitor.
You want to be? Express Elaine?
No. Yeah. But so that's, they're starting to get into that kind of stuff. We took a trip to Disney. Schmizney.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was a fun time. We had a really good time.
I'm not going to let Claude know that Disney exists.
Well, that is child abuse.
I'll expose him to the movies, but I'll tell him the castle's just an imaginary thing.
No, he's got to go meet his favorite characters.
We'll
That's
see.
how Elaine says it.
We'll
characters.
See. Characters.
So anyway, yeah, it was a fun year.
As far as the company goes, yeah, I mean the big one is the acquisition of Express Truck Tax.
Sale of Express Truck Tax.
Yes, the sale, acquisition.
We didn't acquire anything.
We didn't acquire it, but
another company.
So
after 10 years, that was our plan all the time for the first 10 years. Just build the product, build the brand, and then sell it to another bigger player in the market so they can take it to the next level. That's what we did. Worked out great. Found some really good partners at Best Pass from New York.
We
It
had
was probably about 3 months of due diligence and going back and forth and all the good stuff, and it eventually happened. And as we had already promised a couple of years ago, that anytime we are going to exit a product, the proceeds from that sale will be distributed to the team members. So the promise was 25%, and that's what we just did. We distributed 25% of the proceeds to our team members here and also in India. And it was a pretty good amount.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed doing that. So that's pretty good.
A notable event, I will say,
It was.
for
That's
everyone
right.
here in the office.
And then also, we already paying 100% of the premium for the employees' health insurance, the gold plan with Blue Cross. And one of the things that I want to get done was to cover spouses and their children. So we were able to do that, or make it happen last month. So as of this year, we're covering that too.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. And somehow, somewhere, without any plans, we started this trend of offering cars. First it was like 10 years. Then it was 8 years.
Yeah.
And then now it's at 5 years.
Right,
So Christina
right.
completed 5 years, and she
Right.
also got a Jeep.
Yeah.
I don't think we should bring it down to
I
3 years.
think 5 is as low as you could go. I think that's a
pretty
big one.
unheard of.
Yeah.
And then we rebranded Express Tax Exempt to Tax 990. So we did that. I was pretty excited about that. We are launching TruckLogic's Pro version called TruckLogic's Pro first week of April. So we're doing that. And then we sunset Unit-Wise. That was our first product. After a very successful 10-year run, we decided we want to focus more on tax e-filing applications and the transportation industry software. And so we made the announcement about 6 months ago. And as of a week ago, we've officially wound down Unit-Wise. So that's a kind of bittersweet moment because that was the first product. That basically funded all the other products because we are a self-funded company. We don't have any outside investors or partners or directors. So that's been very good to us. And I feel bad that we couldn't continue providing that solution for them. But and then what? PayWow, we launched that a couple of years ago. It's a payroll application, but the spin-off of that was 123 Pay Stubs, which has grown tremendously with less resources that is needed to support that product and continue to grow. So we decided to wind down PayWow and then focus more on 123 Pay Stubs. But for Tax Bandits, we officially became an exclusive e-file provider embedded inside the application for Sage Intact customers. That's the first time that is happening. So we're excited about that. The season starts in 3 days, so this will be the first month we're going through that.
Well, it's interesting that you brought up the having to sunset a couple products, and it's a like you said, a bittersweet thing. I mean, for me, that was one of the first products I worked on when I got started back in 2011.
Right.
But we've talked about it on the show before. One of the necessary things you have to do is knowing when to say no, or knowing when to stop something. Even though it may be working, and other people may have kept running Unit-Wise for a number of years. I mean, it had customers, it had revenue coming in, but you want to talk a little bit about that? You kind of hinted at it that we just need to refocus, and it wasn't going to be a long-term play for the company. But
so
how do you make that choice, that hard choice to?
So for us as a company, we want to continuously update and upgrade everything. To invest more into Unit-Wise would be the right choice. As it nears a 10-year period, and the whole thing has to be updated, upgraded. New technology, all the other stuff needs to be brought in. But I decided that the best decision at this point is to wind it down rather than giving an application to users for which they're paying for. We're charging them, which I didn't feel good about the quality of the product at this 10-year, 11-year mark, and continuing to move forward with it. So even though it was really tough to talk to the tech team and say, hey, the program you guys built, we're going to shut it down. It's very painful for them, especially for Naga. It was one of the first products they really, really worked hard on. And
that's what brought you and Naga together.
Correct. Yeah, that was the original idea.
Yeah.
So it was difficult, but it's a business. I want to safeguard the company, the team members, and in the long run, that is what is needed. As you said, we need to know when to let it go and focus on other things. Yeah. But we are doing extremely well in the e-filing market. We are becoming the market leader for a lot of the tax forms, and it's a bigger opportunity for me and Naga and the rest of the team members, and overall for the company. And
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it seems like it all comes down to just maximizing where our resources are best suited. So we focus on the tagline of endless possibilities, but ultimately no one has endless resources. There's always a finite amount of individuals involved that can be part of a project. And
and not just that, it's are we using the resources efficiently with the program or application and the business that can be good in the next 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years down the road, rather than trying to keep something going that your heart is not into it anymore. And
Yeah. So it comes down to like an efficiency question.
Right, yeah. And then making sure that we're providing a quality product to our users who are paying for it every month. I would not feel good providing them a product that I cannot stand 100% behind it, supporting that.
Yeah,
That was one of the main reasons.
Yeah. And with PayWow, that's, the efficiency question, it seems to be number one. The fact that that 123 Pay Stubs came about practically as a spinoff of PayWow.
Right.
The initial idea was, let's build a payroll product. And in the process of building the payroll product, we build a check stub program, 123 Pay Stubs. And like you mentioned, the resources, it's much easier to maintain from our perspective.
And also with PayWow, there's a lot more competition now for payroll products.
Yeah.
But the chances for fraud, people wanting to run, dubious payrolls, and since we're offering direct debit and deposit, it was constantly an uphill battle to keep on top of what is going on, how the scammers are running the show. It just takes a lot of effort.
A lot of manual verification.
A lot of verifications and stuff. It's just not the business. If 123 Pay Stubs that idea had not come about, we probably will still keep PayWow and figure out some ways to get around all the scam that they try to pull. But we found another alternate way, and as a company, we can make these decisions pretty quickly, and we saw the opportunity to grow and get more, sales coming from 123 Pay Stubs for far less resources. So again, it was just a decision we had to make, and we went with it.
Express Tax Exempt is now tax990.com. We changed our name to make it even easier to recognize us, but everything you know and love about Express Tax Exempt is still here. Tax990.com still provides you with easy Form 990 filing, free schedules, great customer support, and much more. Learn more at tax990.com.
In general, I just want to say I'm struck by the fact that we were able to accomplish so much at Span Enterprises during a year where, if you look at the macro picture, things aren't so great. You know, there's war in Ukraine. Inflation is higher than it's been in 40 years. In an economic recession, practically. You look at companies like Amazon and Facebook and everybody, people who's had their values slashed in fractions over the last year, whereas we've had practically the best year ever for Span Enterprises.
That's right.
That's interesting. What do you think you attribute that to? Just kind of the local economy versus the macro economy, or just the fact that certain types of businesses are going to survive?
It's multitude of things that comes into play, right? It's not just one thing.
Sure.
As we talked about this many times, and I keep talking about this anytime we have a team meeting, whatnot, is having a solid foundation. We built a great foundation, which is quality products, and we did it slow, we did it the right way. We didn't borrow a bunch of money and start throwing around in fancy offices and fancy salaries and fancy titles.
And part of that is because you started this company in a recession.
That is right. 2000, we're a registered company now, but 2009.
Yeah, and people weren't lending money.
Right. Nobody wanted to give us money.
Right.
Now everyone wants to give us money.
Right.
But without a good product, we can BS as much as you want. Eventually, the customer is going to realize your product is crap. They're just going to go find something else. Mm-hmm. The reason Unitwise was able to succeed continuously for 10 plus years as the number one program for that industry, because we built a very solid product from day one. Because without that, the product eventually will fall apart. If we can continuously support customers for their business needs for 12 long years, there's a reason for it. We built a great product. Same thing we've done with truck tax and extension and tax bandits and 990, all those products. So once the foundation is done, then we can really go aggressive to market the product, sell and support and do all that stuff, which is that formula has worked for us. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many other people that formula might work, because it comes with a lot of sacrifice. There's no immediate success. There's no immediate return on the investment. So it takes some time. How long can you hold on to that? Mm-hmm. And we have not been very flashy about our success throughout the year. We've been very quiet about it. We kind of have a low profile overall as a company, and just continue supporting our customers, which has worked out great. And we didn't have to go into debt or anything to survive through the COVID years.
Right.
A lot of our competitors had to do that. Mm-hmm. But end of the day, it's business, and they made a poor call or poor judgment about how they run their business, and what we decided to do years ago is what has been successful. So that's one of the main reasons. But the second part of that is having that solid team behind it, whether from the tech side, from the sales side, from the support side, marketing side. Even during through COVID, even though for almost 2 years we worked from home, mm-hmm. What our effort was, what our motivation was, and what we want to do never mm-hmm. changed.
Right.
We hired a bunch of people, never having met them,
right.
just over through video calls and stuff, mm-hmm. and that still worked. And so it
worked because we had the foundation.
Correct. And we stuck to it. Almost after 11 years of being in business and being debt-free and profitable from 2016 mm-hmm. onwards, we only now came to a decently fancier office space. Mm-hmm. And we built the entire office almost like $400,000 under budget. Mm. Our landlord had to return the money to me. So they said they've been in business 75 years. They've never started a project where they had to return the money
They're not in that business.
And being under budget.
That's because they've never worked with Aggie before.
So, that goes back to Caleb and Charles and Clark and even Sebastian, who's not here anymore. We did a lot of the work during work and after work. We did a lot of the projects here. We kind of having that bootstrap mentality to continue growing. And it has produced big results. We were able to distribute a huge amount of money to our team members as bonus for the sale of Express Truck Tax. And one of the things we forgot To add, as what has happened in 2022, we opened an office in Ohio.
Yeah.
We opened our third office in India at E-Road. So, that growth has happened throughout.
What are your predictions for 2023?
For Span and otherwise?
For Span or macro, you could say, like big picture stuff. Do you think famous former politicians going to be indicted in 2023? Or do you think, you have more realistic predictions?
I'm within a kick range of Miss Amber Tab. So,
so we won't get into too much
I
of
might have
it.
to go into too much because I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
Well, okay. Well, what about for the company or for the Bandit Room? Anything's planned, to kind of...
For Bandit Room, I've been talking to a lot of my business friends. We need to expand and start inviting guests from outside of our area. I don't know if everybody will be able to drive up here.
Right.
But we should figure out, Caleb, video call wise, what else other gadgets we need to make that happen. We should do that.
I've got some ideas for you from my...
Don't listen.
I can give you some advice.
Amber travels with her podcast gear in the back of her Jeep in a plastic tub. What's the reason for that?
Because you might need a podcast anywhere. Not everybody has a soundproof booth. Sometimes we might be out and about and need to do a quick podcast.
Maybe.
Right on.
Got to be ready at all times.
But for the company, we've rebranded Express Tax Exempt to Tax 990 as we have become the market leader for e-filing of the nonprofit sector. We want to continue growing with that, and then tax balance with all the partnerships we have. We have one of the best API in the market. So a lot of other software programs are integrating with tax balance to use our technology to manage W-9s and 1099s, W-2s. I'm excited about that. So TruckLogix Pro. So these are the products we will focus on for this year. We're not going to launch any new product this year. Probably sometime next year we launch another product. We have some ideas that we're working on. But more important is the exit of one of the products that we have. We probably may not exit another product this year, but definitely one or two in 2024.
Gotcha.
This offers right now, but just kind of holding back on exiting TruckLogix, exiting Tax 990 this year, rather wait for next year.
Yeah. So you could say that 2022 was kind of a year of transition, and then 2023 is going to be a year of kind of refocusing and kind of building up the products that we're focusing on for
That's
2023.
right. Yep.
Super
Talking
Bowl
about
predictions.
big picture, you probably seen Avatar already, right?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't had a chance. How is it?
It's good. I wasn't a big fan of the first one, but I also missed it in theaters when it came out, so I didn't have that. So this time I went all out, went to Atlanta to see it on the biggest IMAX I could in 3D and everything, and that was very, very cool. I liked it.
You drove to Atlanta to go see
with
a
some
movie?
friends, and
Oh, wow.
we made a day out of it, but
That's kind of fun.
It was fun.
Was it up there as one of the top movie experiences of your lifetime?
The technical immersive aspect of it, definitely. Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen anything that looked quite as cool as that.
I always thought the first one was just a little bit over-celebrated. I never quite got why it was such a high-grossing film. It just seemed kind of a whatever. I don't know. I feel like it didn't have the staying power that most kind of great films or films that at least accomplish something have. I don't know.
The story is very generic and
it's not a quotable movie. It's not something people are constantly quoting. It doesn't sort of have the sort of staying power that a lot of...
Elf.
Like Elf?
Exactly.
Elf, yeah.
Exactly,
It's a classic, and you'll remember him.
This
So
is
is
really
the second one
complicating.
better than Elf, or no?
No.
No, not better than Elf?
It's not better than that.
I knew it.
It's not better than Elf.
Aggie,
Yeah.
what's your favorite Christmas movie?
None.
Okay, cool.
Wow. Thanks, listeners, for a great 2022 on the
Yes.
Bandit Room.
Yes,
This is
and
kind of the
amen.
close of season 1. We'll be back with season 2 this year.
Yeah.
Lots of guests, lots of... Maybe Amber will be back. I don't know.
Maybe, probably not.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't know. My calendar's
We'll see
getting
if she's
pretty
busy.
full.
Yeah, we'll see.
So tune in, to see what we do this year on season 2.
All right.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yes, very cool. Thank you very much.
The Bandit Room is a production of Span Enterprises, located in sunny Rock Hill, South Carolina. We've been developing, supporting, and growing successful IRS e-filing and business management solutions since 2010. Go to spanenterprises.com now to learn more. The Views and opinions expressed in the Bandit Room are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect or state the opinions of Span Enterprises.